massage or just lay the rocks on the clients to relax. To finish the treatment, put all the rocks in a crock pot or roaster in a laundry bag and wipe the oil off the client with a sheet or towels. Keep the client from being chilled after the treatment by giving the client warm towels or a bathrobe. And the body should be allowed to rest for at least 15 to 30 minutes after a full body application to allow the body to return to its normal state. Clean the stones with soap and water and a vegetable brush, and tea tree oil can actually be used to clean the stones. Also, the scientific name for tea tree is Melaleuca. It's an antiseptic. And let the rocks breathe after they are cleaned. You can lay them out on a towel overnight then. Okay, these stones are ideal for the sacrum region, the low back region, or the abdominal region. So just make sure you get ones that are the size of your hand basically, and you can actually get ones that are a little bit bigger. But again, the darker the rocks, the more they're going to retain heat. So make sure you find those kind of rocks or purchase those rocks for those regions. So when these other rocks start cooling down, that's when you're going to actually need these bigger rocks to actually come into play then. Next ones we're going to go over to, these are a little bit bigger than the palm, as you can see, but they are really good because they're kind of heavy in weight and they'll actually stay on the body really decent. These next ones here are ideal for actually massaging. So they fit right in the palm region, as you can see, but they're not going to slip out when you're actually massaging the body. So just make sure you have 8 to 10 of these size rocks that you can use, because these are the ones you're going to be using more, pulling out of the roaster every now and then, because you need a little bit more temperature with them. Okay, next ones we're going to go over here, and these again, they're a little bit bigger than the palm region, but these again are ideal for just laying on the back, so it's more beneficial, or the hamstrings or any large areas. Also the pec region is really nice too. And then there's small ones right here. These can actually go in between the fingers or in between the toes. That's where you're going to be using these rocks at. And the ones that are a little bit bigger, you can actually put these over the eye, but just make sure it's over the whole eye socket region. So it'll actually cover that. And some people just use cold stones just to make sure, but make sure that they don't actually have contacts in. Some of the supplies that you might need is a ladle, but just make sure it actually has slits in here, so when you're pulling the rocks out, the water will actually drip, so you're not going to drip the hot water on the client. And you can also use tongs. You can also use plastic ladles too, but again, make sure they have to have holes in there. And some people actually use just a fishnet for the smaller rocks, just so it's a lot easier just to pull those all out. But just imagine a whole bunch of rocks in here, dimmed room, and you're trying to find those smaller rocks, but it's going to be a lot more convenient if you actually use this then. Okay, let me explain a little bit about the roaster. These roasters usually have 2 layers to it, as you can see here. And you want 2 to 3 inches of water in here before you place this back in there. So once you have the 2 to 3 inches of water in there, just so it won't smell like a burning smell, so then you can place this back in here, and then at least half full of actual water in here. And then you can place the rocks in there, and if you have laundry bags, mesh laundry bags, you can actually separate the rocks, so it's easier to grab the certain kind of rocks that you need. And the nice thing about these ones that you actually buy from massage places is it actually has a temperature gauge here that you can regulate a little bit better than most. But the ones you buy from department stores, those are usually $25 to $35 per roaster, but they are a little bit, they are cheaper of course, but it's hard to